Rome is so full of archaeological sites, parks, renowned architecture, and museums that you could spend weeks exploring and never get bored. It's difficult to know where to start in a city that is so rich in monuments to Christian and ancient culture. Naturally, your decisions will be influenced by your personal preferences, but there are some locations that are practically required landmarks of Rome. Here are 10 of the best places you should definitely check out in Rome. But before we do that, take a moment to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's dive in. Number 10. The Colosseum. There is nothing more obvious than this, but how could Rome's emblem not make this list of the top 10 places you must visit? The Colosseum is Rome's most well-known tourist destination and one of the best examples of ancient Roman architecture still standing. It is currently the largest amphitheater in the world, and it's also called the Flavian Amphitheater. The Flavian Amphitheater's silhouette is to Rome what the Eiffel Tower is to Paris. Because modern football stadium's design is obviously based on this oval Roman plan, the Colosseum, the largest building from Roman antiquity still standing, continues to serve as the model for sports arenas. The Colosseum was large enough to accommodate theatrical performances, festivals, circuses, fights, and deadly gladiator fights, which the imperial court and high officials watched from the lowest level, aristocratic Roman families from the second level, and the general public from the third and fourth levels. Up to 80,000 people could fit in the Colosseum, which was open to all. The Colosseum is also a stadium with a movable fabric roof called velarium. Thanks to the work of a crew of sailors, it was possible to close or leave it open depending on the weather. Not bad for a building that is more than 2,000 years old, yes? This location serves as a top draw for travelers to the nation. Definitely recommended. Number 9. Vatican City. With a landmass of less than half a square kilometer, the majority of which is encircled by the Vatican walls, the Vatican is the smallest independent state in the world. Between its museums and the enormous basilica itself, this compact space offers a lot of things to see. It is clear that the Vatican museums are a part of Vatican City, but to a resident of Rome, there is no distinction between Rome and Vatican City. The Vatican City is home to many well-known tourist destinations. Significant locations you should visit while you are in the Vatican are St. Peter's Basilica, the Sistine Chapel, Vatican Gardens, and the Vatican Museums. Number 8. The Pantheon. Given its size and the materials available at the time, the self-supporting dome of the magnificent Pantheon is still the largest dome in the world, made entirely of concrete. It is a masterpiece of ancient engineering. Originally a Roman temple, Santa Maria della Rotonda, a Catholic church, has been using the Pantheon since the 7th century. The structure creates an aesthetically pleasing form by precisely adhering to the Vitruvian principles of classical architecture. A perfect sphere could fit inside the structure because it is exactly 43.2 meters tall and 43.2 meters wide. This conveys a sense of harmony and balance to the Pantheon. In the Pantheon, you can also see the tombs of the first two kings of unified Italy, Vittorio Emanuele II and his son, along with other notable individuals. This location also houses the famous painter Raphael's tomb. Number 7. Roman Forum. The Roman Forum, which was situated between Piazza Venetia and the Colosseum, served as the center of political and social activity for Roman citizens. Being in the middle of a bustling modern city while walking through the Forum is like traveling back in time by 2 millennia to the center of ancient Rome. The standing and fallen columns, its triumphal arches, and the remnants of its walls still impress, especially when you consider that for centuries, the history of the Forum was the history of the Roman Empire and the Western world. However, what remains of this center of Roman life and government only reveals a small fraction of its original splendor. If you're on vacation in Rome, visiting the Roman Forum, the Colosseum, the Palatine Hill will help you learn about the history of the Eternal City. Number 6. Trevi Fountain. This is one of the most well-known fountains in the world. The Trevi Fountain is located in the Trevi district of Rome, and it is the largest Baroque fountain in the city. Trevi Fountain is also the most stunning fountain in the whole of Rome. A number of filmmakers have chosen to film at the elegant and romantic Trevi Fountain in addition to attracting tourists. Most visitors agree that the fountain looks best at night. An ideal romantic setting is created by the moon reflecting its light in the basin of the fountain, the cobblestone shimmering, and the pure white marble sparkling from the streetlights. However, catching a glimpse of the fountain at sunrise is also a beautiful sight. Therefore, whenever you visit this famous example of grandeur, be sure to enjoy every second of it. Number 5. Vittorio Emanuele II Monument. Ironically, Romans rarely admire this massive structure, which is regarded as one of the country's symbols. Instead, they compare it to a wedding cake or a gigantic typewriter. Like it or not, the enormous neoclassical building dominates Capitol Hill, the later city across Piazza Venezia, and served as the symbolic heart of ancient Rome. It is a monument to King Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of the unified Italy, who is depicted here in an equestrian statue. Here is where Italy's Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and Italian Unification Museum are located. For a 360-degree view of Rome, you should access the highest terrace by elevator. Number 4. Centro Storico and the Spanish Steps. If you take a look at a tourist map of Rome, one area is depicted as having so many attractions that it is difficult to read the street names. You could spend your entire vacation exploring the Centro Storico, or the historic center of Rome, which is home to so many beautiful churches, opulent palaces, and bustling squares. Take a moment to look up at the Spanish Steps, a flight of uneven stairs and landings that leads to the Trinità dei Monti French Church. The Piazza di Spagna, the square at their base and one of Rome's most well-known squares, is where the stairs get their name. Tourists have long made the stairs their favorite hangout spot. All of Rome's major sites are close to this place, including the famous Hadrian's Temple, which was converted into a church. Street food can also be enjoyed at Centro Storico. It is famous for that. You can admire the magnificent ancient architecture as well. In conclusion, Centro Storico is a must-visit location if you're looking for things to do in Rome. Number 3. Santa Maria Maggiore. This is one of Rome's most majestic churches. Santa Maria Maggiore has been in Rome since the 4th century. Pope Liberius had a vision of the Virgin Mary directing him to build a church where snow fell the following day. Even though it was August, the Esquiline Hill experienced snowfall the following morning. So, it was here that the Great Basilica was constructed. Since the 5th century, Mass has been celebrated here every day. Its 86-meter-long interior is divided into 3 aisles by 40 marble and 4 granite columns, and the apse, which was added in the 13th century, is lined with Old and New Testament-themed mosaics that are the works of renowned mosaic artists from Rome. The upper walls are decorated with some of Rome's oldest mosaics, dating back to the 4th century, and the floor is inlaid with colored stone in the manner of skilled 12th century craftsmen from the Lake Como region. The coffered ceiling is illuminated by the first gold to arrive in Italy from the Americas. One of Rome's 4 papal basilicas and a significant site for pilgrimage, it contains the graves of 2 popes. Due to its aura of prayer and meditation, Santa Maria Maggiore is more well-known among pilgrims. This location offers a fantastic street view of the main markets in the city and has such a lovely interior and history. Number 2. Piazza Navona. Piazza Navona is one of Rome's most recognizable Baroque squares. It still bears the outline of the Roman stadium that Emperor Domitian erected there. In the Middle Ages, it was still used for celebrations and horse races. Borromini, who also created the magnificent row of palaces and the Church of St. Agnes on its west side, rebuilt it in the Baroque style. Its campanile, dome, and facade are examples of how Baroque architecture combines concave and convex surfaces, gables, windows, columns, and piers into a unified form. The square and its surrounding facades were created by Borromini, but its stunning Baroque fountain, Fontana dei Fiumi, was the work of his arch-rival Bernini. The spirited fountain personifies the four rivers that were then considered to be the largest of each of the known continents: the Nile, Ganges, the Nube, and Rio de la Plata. Each is accompanied by plants and animals of their respective regions. The Fontana del Moro, built by Giacomo della Porta in the 16th century in front of the Palazzo Pamphili, and the 19th century Fontana del Nettuno, which features a statue of Neptune, are the other two fountains in the square. Tourists like to hang out in the square, so if you're probably visiting, you should check it out. It is usually crowded with Romans, street performers, gift shops, cafes, and one of Rome's best Christmas markets in December. In the nearby Church of San Luigi dei Francesi, which is located between the Piazza and the Pantheon, you can also see three important paintings by Caravaggio from the late 16th century. Number 1. Piazza del Popolo and Santa Maria del Popolo. Piazza del Popolo was created in the early 19th century as the northern entrance to the city's center and is symmetrically located at the tip of a triangle of streets that includes Via Corso, Rome's main shopping street. At its center, a fountain with four white marble lions shooting fans of water into four circular travertine pools is surrounded by an Egyptian obelisk known as Flaminio. The twin churches of Santa Maria del Miracoli and Santa Maria in Monte Santo are located on either side of Via del Corso, facing one another like mirror images. The Augustinian Basilica of Santa Maria del Popolo is located on the opposite side of the substantial piazza. The interior features two lovely chapels, frescoes by Pinturicchio, and two tombs by Andrea Sansovino in the choir. Raphael designed the Chigi Chapel in 1515, and the Cesare Chapel holds two significant Caravaggio works. Make sure to check out the stairs to the Pincio Terrace next to the Basilica for views of Rome's entire cityscape and the piazza below. You're surely going to love the view. Which of these places would you like to visit? Comment below and have a wonderful trip!